In the decaying outskirts of Detroit, where hollow houses slumped like broken bones and the streets echoed with nothing but the hum of the wind, three young thieves thought they had found their way out of misery. Rocky, a desperate girl suffocating under her mother's cruelty, dreamed of escaping with her little sister Diddy to California. Alex, quiet and reluctant, used his father's security company access to get them into houses. And Money, loud, greedy, reckless, craved danger like oxygen. Together, they prowled the ruins of the city, stealing from those who still had something worth taking. But one rumor changed everything. Money heard of a blind veteran living alone in a forgotten neighborhood, a man who had supposedly received a massive settlement after his daughter was killed in a hit and run. "He can't see, man. He won't even know we were there," Money said with a grin. No family, no neighbors, no police around. Just a blind old man and his hidden fortune. The idea sounded too perfect. But as they scoped out the house, a rotting, fortress-like structure with boarded windows and iron bars, they all felt something uneasy. The place seemed to breathe. That night, the air was thick with humidity and dread. The three parked far down the road and crept across the dead grass. The old man's dog, a massive black Rottweiler, snarled behind the gate until Money tossed a sedative-laced sausage. It collapsed, and for a moment, silence returned. They circled the house, finding every door bolted tight. Finally, Alex unlocked a small window in the bathroom, and Rocky slid inside, careful not to make a sound. The smell hit her first, a blend of rot, oil, and something faintly metallic. She opened the front door for the others, and the house swallowed them whole. Money took the lead, flashlight darting across walls lined with war medals, faded photos, and a large cross. They crept past the living room where the old man slept on a worn couch, his breathing shallow, rhythmic, like a ticking bomb. A gun rested on the couch beside him. They found a door leading to the basement, locked with heavy bolts. "That's where he's keeping it," Money whispered. He took out a silencer and fired at the lock. The muffled shot echoed through the house like a heartbeat. The old man stirred. His breathing stopped. The three froze. Then, slowly, he sat up, his head turned toward them, unseeing but listening. The silence was unbearable. Money waved his gun. "Stay quiet," he mouthed, but it was too late. The old man stood, reached for his pistol, and fired. The blast shattered the darkness. Money fell to the floor, gasping, blood pooling beneath him. The old man stepped closer, feeling the walls, counting his steps. He knelt, pressed a hand to Money's face, and realized there were more. Rocky covered her mouth, trembling. Alex pulled her backward, and they slipped into a hallway. The old man dragged Money's body away, bolting the front door behind him. Now, they were trapped. The sound of dragging chains and footsteps echoed through the house. Rocky's heart pounded so hard she thought he could hear it. They crept toward a back window, but the bars were welded shut. They could see the Rottweiler stirring outside, whining, recovering. Panic began to rise. The old man moved like a predator, his ears straining for the slightest sound, his hands gliding across the walls. He turned off every light, plunging the house into complete darkness. For him, it made no difference, but for them, it was pure hell. In the basement, they discovered something that made them wish they'd never come. A woman, gagged, bound, and chained to a ceiling beam, stared at them with eyes that screamed for help. On the wall beside her hung old newspaper clippings about the hit and run that killed the blind man's daughter. The realization hit like a punch. This woman was the driver. He hadn't turned her in. He had kept her. Before they could free her, the old man appeared at the top of the stairs, gun in hand. He fired into the dark. Alex and Rocky ducked, and the bullet struck the captive woman. She fell, her body twitching, blood spreading like ink. The old man stumbled down the steps, his face contorted in grief. "You took her from me," he whispered. "Now she's gone again." Then his voice hardened. "You owe me another." Rocky stifled a scream. The man locked the basement door, sealing them in. Alex found a hammer and pried at a vent, urging Rocky to crawl through. The metallic tunnel groaned as she slithered forward, her breath echoing in her ears. The old man, moving faster than seemed possible, found the vent and began smashing it with his fists, sending sparks of metal raining down. Rocky screamed, crawling faster until she dropped into a small storage room filled with jars, tools. She gagged, stumbled backward, and grabbed a crowbar. Alex caught up, blood running down his arm from a glass shard. "We have to go now," he hissed, but every door was locked, every window barred. The old man's footsteps echoed from above. He was hunting them like prey, and the house was his weapon. They managed to reach the kitchen where the dog lunged through a broken window, teeth bared. They slammed a door shut just in time. When the old man caught him, it was sudden, a blur in the dark. They crashed into the basement again. The old man wrapped his hands around Alex's neck, growling. "You think I'm helpless? You think darkness is your friend?" The old man fired in his neck and turned his attention to Rocky. "You killed my baby's mother," he said quietly, pulling out a large container from the shadows. Inside was something horrific, a glass jar filled with thick fluid. "I'm not a monster," he whispered. "I just want what was taken from me." Then he grabbed Rocky, holding her down as he prepared to use a makeshift contraption, a twisted plan to impregnate her and replace what he'd lost. But Rocky fought back. She kicked him, hard, sending the jar crashing to the floor. She swung the crowbar, striking his head, sending him sprawling. The old man screamed, blinded not by darkness but by pain. She bolted up the stairs, unlocking the door just as the dog charged again. It cornered her in the hallway, snarling. She dove into a vent and kicked the dog away, tumbling into the front room. She unlocked the front door and ran into the dawn. The street was empty, silent. Behind her, the house stood still, a black wound in the earth. Rocky held Diddy's hand at the bus station, trembling. The news on a nearby TV spoke of a home invasion gone wrong, the blind man found injured but alive, claiming self-defense. The newscaster said nothing about the basement. Rocky turned away, tears burning her eyes. The bus doors closed, and as it pulled away, she glanced out the window. For just a moment, in the reflection of the glass, she swore she saw him, standing across the street, head tilted, unseeing eyes turned straight toward her. And though he couldn't see, somehow he smiled.